Okay, so here we have the ingredients laid out for a Korean lunch today. So in the centerpiece is going to be the beef. I'm going to cook it in instant pot. It's chuck cubes that I cut even smaller into roughly half-inch cubes, and it's been marinated for almost 30 hours now. It was marinated in ginger garlic paste, gochujang paste, vinegar, and soy sauce. So it has been marinated like that for 24 hours. And then Korean style, like Koreans have this thing called banchan, which are these side dishes, typically vegetarian. So for that we have these mung sprouts, and we have three other things over here to the other side of the bowl. So we have some okra, we have some asparagus, and we have some radishes. So these will be cooked very fast while the beef cooks in the instant pot, and then we should have a very lavish Korean lunch ready. Okay, so the next step is we have to get the beef browned. So the marinated beef, I'm going to brown it in this cast iron pan, and I'm going to brown it. It'll have to be a couple of batches because it's a lot. And I'm going to brown it with these onions cut into big chunks and mushrooms just cut in half. The reason we brown this is to give it a better flavor. Okay, so here I am doing the browning. The cast iron pan was very hot, as was the oil. The reason I use a cast iron pan instead of instant pot for the browning, which you can do, is the char that you get from a cast iron pan is better. Now remember, the purpose of this exercise is browning. It is not to cook the beef completely through. That will happen in the instant pot. What we want is this browning. I don't know if it's visible in the video. So we want the outer layer of the meat to be turned brown, so it will give a nice taste of the Maillard reaction. We want these big chunks of onion to be at least somewhat caramelized, as well as the mushrooms. We want them browned as well. And remember, the purpose is not to cook them through, it is to just brown them on all sides. And now you can see how the beef and onion and mushrooms have been browned. Again, not cooked through, just browned. It took about 3 minutes at medium high heat. So now I will take them off the stove, do the other batch. Now we make the sauce, and the ingredients in this sauce are some of the aromatics like garlic, ginger, and green onions. We have a pear that gives it its distinct sweet and spicy flavor. We have light soy sauce. We have gochujang, which is a Korean chili paste. We have vinegar, rice wine vinegar. We have sesame oil, some brown sugar, and then we'll be adding a little bit of broth to it. So I only have chicken broth at home. This is how the sauce looks out of the food processor. It looks really good, tastes perfect. Like Rupal is going to try it now.
It tastes really good.
Yeah, the perfect combination of sweet and tart and spicy.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of work so far, but the good news is the work is done. Now we come to the final step, which is the easiest one. You just put the browned beef, onion, and mushrooms in the instant pot. Right now it's on saute setting, but I'll eventually do it on manual. Once that is done, you just literally pour the sauce on top of it. And that is pretty much it in terms of getting the ingredients together. So as you can see, it's a little saucy, all those things together. And now it's all, I'm just gonna stir it all together. Then I will put it on manual for about 50 minutes, because remember, this is a chuck roast. I don't know if I mentioned this before, so it takes longer to braise than, let's say, a fattier cut. There's still about half an hour for the beef in the instant pot to be done. So in the meanwhile, we are going to start working on our banchan, which are these small side dishes in Korean food. We have 4 things planned. 2 of them are going to be blanched. So what I've done is I have a bunch of okra here. Just cut off the top of the stem, but I have not cut it off all the way because I don't want water to get in. And then I have just regular asparagus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blanch these. What I do here is the water is already boiling. I'm going to drop them in for about 2.5 minutes. And then I'll take them out and I'll put them in this ice bath that I have ready right here. So these have been put in boiling water for about 2.5 minutes, and now I'm going to take them out and drop them into this ice bath. So they'll sit in the ice bath for about another couple of minutes, and then I'll take them out of the ice bath. What this blanching does is it cooks them a little but still keeps them nice and crunchy, and more importantly nice and green, because otherwise if you cook asparagus or okra, it starts to lose its pretty green color. So here we get a crunch that you associate most commonly with Japanese or Korean food. So here we have done prep for our different kinds of banchan. There's going to be okra and also asparagus, like I said. There's going to be some mung sprouts. There's grated red radish, the small radishes that you get in the US. Now what Drupal and I are going to do is we're just going to play around using some of these ingredients. So these ingredients are fish sauce, rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, hot chili oil, light soy sauce, lemon juice, chili flakes, and crushed peanuts. So we are just going to like mix and match whatever catches our fancy. The focus is going to be on just minimal ingredients in each dish. We'll just try to see what goes best with what, and we'll let you know how it tastes. The first banchan we are making is honestly not a banchan at all. It's more of a Japanese recipe I'd had a few years ago at a restaurant. So banchan, or what the Japanese call ohitashi, are essentially cold salads, mostly with raw or bland stuff. So these are the blanched okra that I have cut kind of diagonally, if you can see those. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add some rice wine vinegar. I'm sorry, I just cook by approximate feel, so I can't tell you exactly how many teaspoons or whatever. If I keep doing these videos, I will. So we added a little bit of rice wine vinegar. Now we are adding some light soy sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of minced ginger. I'm gonna add some sesame seeds and a little bit of fish sauce. It's like it cuts that flavor nicely. So with banchan, the main idea is minimal ingredients. So you can stir it with your forks. It's just me and my wife, so I'm just going to use my fingers because that will cover the okra well. Yeah, so see, just very simple ingredients, just vinegar, soy sauce, rice vinegar, soy sauce, ginger, and sesame. So like now this is mixed. Now this will go in the fridge. Next we are going to do something with these asparagus. We have only 6 stems. We usually cook a lot more, but since we have so much food, kept it limited. So this is going to be an asparagus banchan. I'm starting off by just grating some pepper on it. I'll add a tiny bit of sugar, not too much. Oops. I will add some crushed peanuts. And then these I'm just going to toss in hot chili oil. It's a new bottle, I have to open it. Just a little bit of hot chili oil. That's it. And again, I'm going to stir using my hands. I think I have a tiny cut, so it might sting a little. Yeah, ouch. But it's okay. That's not a big deal. It's part of cooking. So yeah, here it is. Again, just a simple banchan as a side, featuring asparagus and crushed peanuts.
And we're going to put this in the fridge for a little bit too.
Next we come to the radish. So I grated the radish, I let it sit, then I just hand squeezed stuff out like this. So it is drier than it initially was. And again, we are going to do something with this radish, and given the taste it has, some acidity goes well to cut that very radishy taste. So some vinegar, some ginger goes really well with it. So let's add some ginger. I'm gonna add some chili flakes for a little bit of heat. Maybe a little bit of sugar. A lot of these sauces have sugar in them. And maybe a squeeze of lemon juice for just that lemony freshness. What do you think? Do you think we should also put ground peanuts in this? Yeah, why not?
Why not? Adds a little crunch.
Yeah, so we are also going to add some crushed peanuts in here. All right, and again, with my trusty fingers. And we're done. And last but not the least, the mung bean sprouts. So this is the last banchan we are making, so I'm just gonna, go by the seat of my pan. So I'm gonna use up the remaining ginger. Oops. I am definitely gonna add some sesame oil. Maybe a tiny bit of, oh, that was more than a tiny bit, so it'll end up being spicy. Hot chili oil. And maybe a tiny bit of soy sauce for sodium. Alright, so that is our refreshing mung bean sprout salad. Alright, so our Korean feast is ready. So the centerpiece is obviously the braised beef. It's like a combination of galbi and bulgogi flavors. I looked up a bunch of recipes and just kind of meshed them together. That is with some rice. So I did not have any jasmine rice, East Asian type rice. But I did have some arborio rice for risotto. So I just used that. It's close enough to what goes well with Korean flavors and what you would get in a Korean restaurant. And then we have these 4 side dishes, side salads, as the Korean word goes, banchan. It's banchan whether it is singular or plural. So we have one with asparagus, one with radishes, one with okra, and then one with mung sprouts. So took a couple of hours, but it was a lot of fun. And then now let's see how the wife likes it.
Alright, about to try this delicious Korean beef and the banchan that Gaurav has spent so much time cooking.
Start with the banchans.
Let's start with the banchans. Okras. Well, very good. Crunchy. They kept their crunch with the blanching thing. And really well flavored, but at the same time very light. Mung. My chopstick skills aren't that great. Nice, a little spicy, yeah. Has a little kick to it. Really good. All right, time to try the asparagus. Really good.
Give me a bite.
Really good asparagus. And now, the beets.
No, the radish.
Oh, radishes. Ah. Really good. My favorite so far because they're really delicious. They have a nice little tart and mildly spicy flavor to it while maintaining the crunch. It's really good.
Yeah, like kimchi. It's kimchi type flavor in that. All right, and now the main action.
Time for the main beef. Oh my god, so good. Really tender. Very well flavored and spiced. Really good. I think we're going to overeat today.